So let's get talk about that episode because we're 2 episodes left before we finish all of this. It sounds insane, I know, but here we are. So before we get into this, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on the notification bell. We talk American Horror Story, all the stuff you want to know, the theories, everything, all of that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So close to 20,000 subscribers, but let's get into it. Death Valley. What a season has it been? So if you've been with me since Red Tide, you know we've been theorizing what was going to happen. And I think today's episode kind of cements it a little more. I know I always say that, and I know y'all always thinking it's not going to connect, some of y'all. But some of y'all believe me. And like I said, it sounds like I'm writing an essay, like paper for this. But here we go. Let's get on with this episode. So years have passed. JFK is now president, and they decide, you know what? Let's let Jack know what's going on. And this is Eisenhower and Nixon, by the way. So they go to him. They tell him, we did a basic treaty with the aliens. They get something, we get something. And this is how things go. JFK ain't about it. He's like, that doesn't sound right at all. I'm not going to be about it. But they convince him, but still he's hesitant. We see him with Marilyn Monroe, and she basically lets him know, I do believe in aliens because I believe I had an encounter with it when I was younger. And now he's pretty much like, I think the people should know this. And of course, Nixon gets pissed off. Eisenhower also is a little worried about what's going to happen now. But nonetheless, we see what we eventually see from JFK. And that's his assassination, because apparently it's because he was going to oust this whole project and everything. Now, what happens next also is Eisenhower seems to be a little reluctant as well to continue any of this, and Nixon is advising him to continue it. You have to, because if not, the aliens will just go to the Russians, and the Russians will get all of this technology we're getting, and that ain't no good. That's what Nixon says. And we realize as well that the people around Eisenhower had no idea what was going on either in JFK. And the alien woman that we saw in the first episode comes out and is basically like, you will meet our demands and all of this in exchange for this technology we give you, but we need more people to dissect, to study, because our planet is dying and we need to pretty much save it. And it's going to be saved by us living with you here on Earth. So that's what you're giving up in order to get our technology as well. A person doesn't agree with it there, and he gets his head blown up. And the aliens pretty much are like, this is our warning, and now listen to us. And then they kill the woman that they were possessing. We see Amelia finally give birth to a little alien, and she is eventually killed, as well as everybody who was helping. And the baby alien tries to attack Eisenhower before he shoots it. And I think this is the last straw for him. He's on the verge of finally saying it's over. But then his wife tells Nixon about this, and Nixon confronts him. He goes to confront his wife, and he finds out that his wife is actually being possessed by an alien now. And that's where that part ends. We jump to the present time now, where pretty much we see our friends that we were watching in the first episode go on a camping trip. And then they were awoken to become pregnant now. All 4 of them, even the men. And now we go to them going to get ultrasounds to see what's going on. What they find out in this ultrasound is that, yes, indeed, there's aliens. The doctor's pretty creeped out about it as well. She tries to place a phone call, but then the men in black show up. Yeah, men in black. And they eventually kill the doctor, and they take and abduct the friends, all 4 of them. We do get a glimpse of the baby aliens in the stomach as well, and one of them is having twins, actually, it seems. They awaken in this place that looks a lot like where the aliens from Asylum took the people there. And the main chick awakens during all of this, and then she is met by Theta, who we'll talk about in a bit. And Theta basically explains that this is where they come because they are going to be pretty much like the saviors for the new planet, not Earth, and then puts her back to sleep. So we very much so see the friends the next day, or maybe a little bit later, awaken in a room full of other people who seem to be pregnant as well, and Steve Jobs is there. I'm going to talk about that another time, but that threw me off right there. So then the friends are reunited, and then one of the friends gets pretty pissed off about not knowing what's happening, so he starts throwing shit around, and I'm just like, dude's dead. Another person that's been there for a while now, apparently since 79, tells them that if you get chosen to come back, you keep coming back, and if you don't, you pretty much get dead. So the other friend is taken, who causes a commotion, and then we see him start to give birth. Data comes through and is like, you're going to give birth and your sacrifice will be honored because you're helping our planet. And the guy's like, no, 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 I don't want to do this. And eventually it seems like something's about to burst like alien out of there. Theta takes off her mask, whatever, and it's Angelica Ross, who plays the chemist in Red Tide. And that's where we end things right here. So what the fuck is going on? So before we get into anything further, no, I don't believe Theta is the chemist, but I do believe that this is the chemist offspring. I do believe that very much so. So in my opinion, I think that we're about to see exactly what happens when some people are able to give birth to a regular human and some people give birth to an alien of sorts. I think that the people who give birth to a regular human are the ones who are sort of like led to come back again and again, as opposed to the ones that give birth to the ones that look more like aliens are the ones that pretty much get killed and sort of never come back because they did. So that's my opinion on what's going on here. I think this friend we saw isn't really going to give birth to a humanish type vibe, more like a little alien thing, and I don't think that's what the aliens are looking for. As we know, they've said that they're looking for a new species that will be able to live with all of the toxins around the earth, and this probably wouldn't work if they're like a straight up alien looking thing. So I think that Theta was probably one of the more aliens that was able to survive, and I think it was from the chemist. The chemist has said that they did work with the government on these pills we saw in Red Tide. So I wouldn't be surprised if the chemist is actually somebody who's able to give birth to these aliens and is sort of like aiding them as well. And maybe the pill is another way to figure out who exactly would be better to further the race along of these aliens by sort of picking the ones that are better as well. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about this episode. As I said, I think that pretty much we're going to see this first friend doesn't really make it because its baby isn't really a alien they were looking for, but more in fact was that little creature we saw that we saw earlier come out of Amelia. So those are basically my theories on this ending and what it means for the future of this second part. There's 2 episodes left, so I'm not too sure exactly if they're really gonna try and tie it all into Red Tide. I mean, even more into Asylum, right? I may be wishful thinking, and I may be completely out of it to think they might. But hey, I mean, stranger things have happened, so we'll definitely see if they are able to get this all tied together. I mean, at least do it to. I think they would be able to do it. You could have a little quick scene for Asylum, and then you could have a quick ending for Red Tide and tie it all together, right? But I mean, the more I'm thinking about it, maybe there isn't really a connection, but deep down I think this lore does connect, but we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think about it down below though. Do you think we will get a series not for this double feature where both of the stories connect, or do you think that there is no connection and he just wanted to tell 2 different stories? Or is there a connection to Asylum, even as I said in my Asylum theory video? So check that one out if you haven't already. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. What did you think of today's episode? I really enjoy it. I do enjoy the past part of it more, like the black and white, than the present day. I really believe he could do a great series with that. Definitely with American history and aliens and the connection as well would be something to see. But we'll just wait and see how this one ends. Hopefully the ending doesn't come off as Red Tide did, where it was like, what the fuck is going on, right? So the episodes are shorter for this second part, I've noticed, and some other people online as well. So I'm a little hesitant to believe that they'll end it right, but we'll see. Anyways, as always, if you haven't already subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. We're about to reach 20,000 subscribers. Super pumped for that. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, also TikTok. I will be putting a lot more stuff on there pretty soon, so make sure you're there. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Stay positive. Hey, if you're still listening, check out the video on the left, hit that notification bell, hit the subscribe button, stay safe, stay positive.